Good morning, Sagar.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning.
Come on. We'll wait for 2 minutes and then we'll get started. Meanwhile, did you guys practice SQL on the weekend? Did you try to complete assignments? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any issues?
Nothing as of now.
Okay, anyone attending for today's as a first class?
Yeah, I attend this for first time.
Okay, fine. We'll discuss about the batch. Recorded. Okay. Fine. If anyone attending for classes from today, please join the WhatsApp group if you have not joined. The link for the next 5 demo classes for Python will be shared under this particular WhatsApp group. You can join from that particular WhatsApp group. Okay. Regarding the particular batch, we'll be talking at the end of the class. Now I'll be starting something called as Python for data engineer. Okay, so we'll be starting with something called as Python for data engineer. We'll try to understand what is Python, why Python is used, and we'll get started with Python, basic of Python, how to get started coding in Python. That's the main agenda for today's class. So we'll be not wasting more time on theory because as a data engineer, you are not a Python developer. You need to have a knowledge on Python that is required for you to work on a day-to-day activities. That is mainly with respect to something called a Spark or PySpark, or whenever you will be working with something called as AWS, at that time, Python will come into the picture. Or if you're working with a tool called Databricks, Python will come into the picture. Or you are working inside Snowflake, you want to work with Python, you want to write a code with Python, then we have something called a Snowpark. At that time, Python will come into the picture. We'll try to understand what exactly is Python, and we'll try to spend next at least 2 to 3 weeks, minimum 3 weeks, to understand concepts of Python. And then when we come back to our AWS, we'll be implementing those things. So it will be very easy for us whenever we'll be doing Databricks or PySpark or Snowpark. It will be much more easier to work with Python. That being said, the very first question I would want to ask you guys, if you're driving and there is no traffic signal, what will happen if you see this particular image?
So, deadlocks.
Okay. Okay. That's it. What will cause this particular, if there are no traffic signal and all vehicles are going as it is, what will happen? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
accidents might happen.
Okay. So it's a complete chaos, like without any instruction or without any traffic signal, without any traffic police. If you leave as it is to travel, you have seen that nowadays, even in Bangalore is very famous for its traffic. Everything is good in Bangalore. Climate is good. People are good. Everything is good. Only one problem is traffic. And if you won't control that particular traffic, there will be a lot of chaos and that might cause any accident. Now, the same thing, if I control using traffic, I give a set of instruction, then can you control over all this chaos? Now, can we control all the chaos? Can we control the accidents? Everything can we control?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you know that inside a traffic signal, if you have a red signal, what you will do?
Stop
We have
vehicle.
to stop.
Okay, yellow.
Get ready.
Ready.
Okay, green.
You can go.
Okay. If it keep blinking red, green like this, what will do? What will understand if keep blinking red, green like this? Can you understand anything from this?
No.
So you know that if red is there, then I need to stop. If green is there, I need to go. If keep on blinking red, green, you don't know what to do. The instructions are not clear. The same way, your computer is also like traffic. If you just say go, it get confused. You need to give a certain set of instruction, step-by-step instruction. You go, stop. When red it is there, you stop. How there is an instruction in traffic. When green is there, you go. There is a set of instruction. The same way to communicate with anything with respect to computer, you need to give a set of instruction. That's where your program will come into the picture. Program is nothing but a set of instruction you give to the computer so that it can understand what it needs to follow. Okay. Okay. Then what do you mean by programming? Why we need it? Programming is nothing but a process of writing instruction. Now you are saying like in program we'll give a set of instruction, but the process is called as a programming, where we need to solve a problem, we need to automate certain process, we need to build application, anything if you want to do, computer need to understand that, then we say something called as programming. Now how does this particular computer understand? And you give a set of problem that will be in the form of human instruction, but can your computer understand directly? Now, if I'm talking in English, you are able to understand because you know that English is something a universal language where you guys can understand. But if I come and start talking some other language like Japanese, how many people will understand Japanese here? Can others understand? Do anyone know Japanese?
No.
Exactly. So computer need to understand its own language. The only language that computer understand is binary code, that is 101001. Only in the form of 01 your computer is going to understand. You might be write a problem or program in the form of any of the application. You might use any of the program, that might be Java, Python, C++, JavaScript, anything you take, you give that, it is a kind of a human instruction. You go, since how we have English, how we are talking in the form of Hindi, we have one type of language, we have something called as Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, how we have an instruction where you can communicate. In this way, there are different language that we can go and communicate with Python. Sorry, we can go and communicate with computer, but it does not understand those language. It will understand those instruction only when it is converted into a machine language. That is nothing but you write a code here and that need to be translated into something called as a machine instruction, then only it is able to go and execute. Okay. Okay. I got to know this. Then what are the different types of languages we have? Now we have something called as high level language. Now what do you mean by high level language is nothing but I can understand as a human, whenever I write any programming language or whenever I write any program, I can understand that particular language. I can say, seeing that piece of code, at least I can understand. For example, I have this sales is equal to 1.66, and I'm saying if sales is greater than 2, give me a discount. Else, this much is a discount what I need to give. So this is been understandable by something called the human. Those kind of languages are called as a high level languages, like your Python, Java, C++, or even SQL, where it's a very easy to read, write, and maintain. It is not dependent on the machine. It is there is something called a compiler or interpreter that converts your code according to the computer. It is not dependent on the hardware, but it depends on the logic which you write on the language. Okay. There is another language called the low level language. Now, what is this low level language is nothing but it is very close to your computer. It is not able to easily understandable by human. If I give this 101010, can you go and interpret this? What is this particular code is doing? Can you understand this?
No.
Those kind of languages are called as a high level languages. Those are not mainly a machine code or binary code, where since it is very close to your computer or hardware, it is very fast for execution because computer knows what you are communicating with respect to that particular language, and it is dependent on the platform or hardware or CPU mainly to control your hardware. But where here is a language which are communicated with respect to your human level, where we are passing a certain languages and then it is converted. Now, how does, if I give a particular language, as I know, computer can understand only something called as 101010, but how does computer will understand if I pass something called as high level language? At that time, there was something called as a compiler will come into the picture. Now, what is this particular compiler? Every hardware will be having something called a compiler. Now, what this particular compiler will be doing is, it's a software that translates your high-level language into a machine-level language. It checks whether there are any errors that is present before I convert and send it to computer, because if there are any errors, I cannot communicate with respect to my computer. There will be issues. So the compiler will come into the picture that will convert your high level language to low level language. Now, any doubt between high level language and low level language? I got till now? Have I got till now? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Why? Why everyone is silent today? Monday morning? Not motivated? Are you good? Others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, let's assume one more thing. Okay. Now, anyone who plays games here? Play video game? Anyone? Your children? At least if someone is married, having children? No one? No one?
I play FIFA,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Play.
Okay. Now, couple of you said FIFA. Now, whenever you go and try to play FIFA, what you have to do first, you need to install that into your computer. Yes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Until unless that is installed, can you go and play?
No, I can't.
No.
Okay. So you need to install this, and some of the games are having something called as more than 12 GB, 13 GB, 14 GB. Some are even 20 GB. You have, and you need to go and install that. Until unless that is installed, you cannot go. But there are some application where it will say, I have hosted every game on cloud. You directly log in and play. Okay, guys, played this kind of games? Okay, guys, played?
Yeah.
Okay, in this, you don't need to play, go and install anything. They will be giving certain directions how to play online, how to connect to the server, how to connect to that particular game, and you can go and play online. Okay, but if you see, if there might be some issues, whenever they are going instruction, giving that instruction, you need to go and follow that particular instruction. Then only your next type of whatever the activities you can go, you can do. Whereas inside your normal computer, when you have installed each and everything, it will be much faster because each and everything will be there, much smoother and fast to run. Whereas it is much slower than that installed game, because middle they might give certain instruction to follow that, so that once you clear a particular level, there might be update. There might be say, okay, this patch is not there, you go and update this, so that you can go to the next level. These kind of things might happen. Okay. Okay. Now, which is best in this both? Which you think, which is best? Completely installing and playing, or on the go I'll go and play?
Installing and playing.
Complete install.
Okay. Sorry, I heard two people talk.
Completely installing and doing that, sir.
Okay. Now, imagine you are installing the complete play. Middle, there was some issue. Your laptop got crashed. Now, what should happen? It will continue from there. What you should do?
Reinstall again.
Now, to reinstall, whenever you try to reinstall, they say some files are present and all. Is the debugging part much easy? What you have to do to go and see the logs? You have to go and see your C programming. There you have to see which files they have installed, and if is that there, go and uninstall. Go and see in your run administrator. Lot of things you have to go as a do and debug. Whereas here, if you go, if there are any issues, a particular issue they will show. Okay, this particular patch is not there. This particular, you are having issues with this. go and if you are okay, let me say I'll go and fix that. On the go, on your cloud, they're giving certain instruction. They're indicating where that particular failure is happening. But if the same thing, any failure is happening while your installation, while running that piece of game, is it easy to debug? Which is easy to debug?
Cloud platform.
Okay. Now the same issue is having again and again. Now you need to finish a, let's say you thought to finish FIFA game. Okay, it will take, let's say, 50 hours to complete full game. But again and again you are having issues, everything. To take what? You install, uninstall, go and play, everything you do. You might take 30 days to complete. If you're a programmer, it might take 30 days. Can we assume? Can we assume 30 days? Do you guys understand? What did I say? The whole game will be finished by 50 hours. It takes 50 hours to complete. But you need to install. If there are any issues, again, you need to debug everything you have to do and you have to run. You're taking 30 hours. The same game, 30 days, the same game, if any issues are there, I can go and finish in 20 days if I'm putting the same efforts. So these kind of things we can do. The same way, there are two types of more languages apart from high level language and low level language. That is something called as a compiled language. Now, what is compiled languages? You have written a certain piece of code, let's say 100 code. Now, each line of code completely translate into a binary code, and then you can go and execute. If there are any issues, then it will not execute. Whereas another type of language is called the interpreted language, where it will go and run line by line. For example, you have written 100 lines of code, it will execute, convert this first line to binary code, execute second line, execute third line, execute. And if there are any on the 30th line, you have any errors, it will stop here, indicating that error is there here. But here we need to go and debug. We'll run line by line, understand where exactly error is. It will directly throw you an error. So these kind of languages are called the compiled language, where everything I'll translate first and then execute. No, I'll translate line by line. Then those languages are called the interpreted language, because I'm interpreting line by line. Now, if you consider that, it is faster execution. If that particular software was installed correctly, it would have played much more easier. But heavy application only will try to go and use something called a compiled language, where we'll build everything first. For example, your any application, your mobile application, any website, anything where we need to build and then give to the user. At that time, we'll try to use something called the compiled language. Whereas I need to do certain called as a data related work. I need to do analysis. I need to do experimentation. I need to have a quick, easy debugging part, instant feedback. At that time, I will use something called the interpreted language. If we come, what's the compiled language is nothing but the source code is translated into a completely machine code at once by the compiler before execution. It is faster. Errors found at the compile time, it will get something called as ended there only. But when you fix, again, it reads recompilation. Whereas interpreted language is something where execute line by line by line. It is slower when compared to compile, but it is very easy to fix our errors at the runtime. Very easy to recompile, and no need to recompile. It will just go and try to work from that particular line of code, and rapid testing and debugging purpose is good. This is how it works. And we have a direct compiler, it will go and compile. Whereas here, there is something called the interpreter, and virtual machine will be there. That particular virtual machine will be converting your line of machine, like machine code, one line by line, and it interprets and execute, and then it will run. Any doubt in difference between compiled language and interpreted language? Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, Sagar.
So still in interpreted language, like it is not getting compiled, right? It is actually getting executed at runtime, right?
Interpreted language. So for example, I have written x is equal to 10. y equal to 20, x plus y equal to how much? I'm asking, print this. So it will go and see what? First see x is equal to 10. Now it will go interpret and it will convert into binary code and it will give instruction for machine and it will understand. It will come here, y is equal to 20, it will understand, it will go and give machine code, it will convert. And I say x plus 20. Now, since already it is converted, here it will go and execute. Whereas your compiled language, it will go and convert each and everything first to something called as a binary code and execute all together one. Correct?
Got it, sir.
Yeah, I'll be explaining. Give me some time, Chandra. How it happens, I'll explain. Okay? Fine. Now comes a picture. Now we saw that Python is what? Interpreted language, high level language that we got to know. But what exactly is Python? Why we need Python? Now Python is a high level open source programming language, which is mainly empathized for simplicity, readability, and versatility. Now, what do you mean by this? What do you understand by this line? What do you guys understand by this line?
Easy to write and readable for simple code.
Okay. Okay. That's correct. Others?
And understandable.
Okay.
Simplicity means it is a very simple to write, and readability means like that is a like we can say that is the English. So we get the command, whatever the commands are there, that is actually English, like that Oracle database, but whatever we mostly give the command, that is actually English. We will put there in the SQL query, like, and versatility means like versatility means like in with there is a versatility means like different features there, means like it is work on any environment.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, fine. Let me go. Okay. Now I'll be using ChatGPT. I work mainly on Python. I don't know Java. I don't know C++. I don't know JavaScript. Okay. I'll ask, build a simple calculator in Python, Java, C++, and Java. Okay, I'm using ChatGPT. Now it is building a calculator. Let me say, use any function, build simple way. Okay, I don't want any complication things. Okay, I'm asking it to build. Now it takes something A, B, C. It is saying operators, everything it is building, and it has built. The same thing, your Java is there. It is doing so many things. It is saying something public class, everything, see so many things it has to, and it has built. Again, C++ came, it has building, it has built. Here, JavaScript, it is building everything. Okay. Now I'll copy this. I'll bring here. Give a minute. Have this piece of code. Let me make it as red. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay, let it be. And the same code I'm taking from Java and keeping it here, which is easy to understand. Which is easy to understand.
Python.
Python
Okay.
1.
Anyone who don't know Python completely new to programming here? Anyone?
I know
Yes.
Java, but I don't know Python.
Okay. Okay. Completely new to programming. They don't know any of the languages.
Myself, sir. Madhuban.
I'm completely new, Sagar.
Okay.
Yeah,
I gave
myself.
this piece of code. Okay. I'm giving you piece of code. Can you, which language is easy to explain for you? Can you understand anything from this piece of code here?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. Let me make it as bold and I'll make it as red. Now what it says, A is something float, input, something input, float. It is saying some input, it is saying that's fine. And it says the operation is plus, go and do A plus B. Now what does it mean?
Add A and
It is doing
B.
addition.
Okay. Now if we come back to here, I'm making this as bold. Now what is this? Public static void main. Do you guys know?
Yes, sir. Main.
Who don't know Java, who don't know Python, who don't know any programming. If I give this piece of code, if this piece of code I remove, do you think Java will execute?
No.
Because this is something called the boilerplate code. Everything it needs to go and follow the set of instruction, and you have to write a long piece of code where simplicity is not there. Whereas readability, you can go and easily read. When you come and see the same other languages, there is C++. You are having something include, use is same. Everything you are doing, you are defining particularly what kind of A, B, and what is operation, what is type of data type, each and everything. And if you go and use this, now is it easy to readability? Is it easy? Is it easy?
No, sir.
We come to JavaScript again. Now again, JavaScript is what interpreted. It's much a good scripting language, somewhat easy to learn. But when you come and see, again, there is something called the doc type HTML body script. They're saying something called as parse float, everything. It is much difficult. Whereas you go and give a simple Python code, it is very easy. Quickly you can go and develop. It is much more easy. If you know any of the SQL language or proper English, you can easily go and interpret. That's why there was our presentation. Okay. That's why it is very simple, readability and work. Now, what is versatile is it can quickly adapt to anything. If you want, you can go and work with web development. If you want gaming, I will do it. If you want AI, I'll do it. If you want data cleaning, I'll do it. If you want data analyst, I have all the things, capability, whatever you want to do with respect to coding, I can go and quickly adapt to all the things. That's what your Python programming is known for. And it was founded in 1991 by Gudio One. That's right. Why it is widely used? As I said, it has a rich number of libraries. Now, libraries are nothing but it's a set of instruction already it has been given. Now, how we have different functions, everything is there. You can directly go and use that on the go. That is already there for data analysis, visualization, machine learning, big data, web development, gaming, anything you go and take, every libraries are there. Just you import those library and start working on top of that library. And it supports everything like database, we can go and connect, cloud, we can connect, distributed system like PySpark or Spark, you can go and connect. Whatever you can do, easily it can go and communicate with those applications. And the most important thing is strong community is there, support is there. If you have issues or anything, a big community is there to help you out. And there are lot other features. That one main thing is easy to learn and readability, cross-platform. We saw libraries, integration also we saw, scalability is there for your Python. These all things are there. We'll explore more on this. I don't want to waste more theory because as soon as we start working on Python, you'll understand how flexible is Python to work, but on a high level, why it is widely used because it has a lot of libraries, it has a lot of capability to work with data. That's why most preferred language is something Python for your data analysis, AI, or data engineering work. That being said, if you guys have any doubts, please let me know. I got till now. I got till now.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir, sir, for this Python data for data analysis purpose or suppose a PLSQL development process,
Mhm.
every have a different library, even it is related to a data, but the for PLSQL programming or the for the data analyst purpose, these kind of things related a different library or the same library for data.
Okay. We have very different types of libraries. For example, let me show you. You come and see Python library. This is one particular image which I can show you. Mhm. I'd seen that one particular image, but if you come and see, now these are the libraries which you have. For analysis purpose, let me use something. Mm, mm, mm. This is much more easy. If you come and see here, again, it is asking to sign up. This is much more easy. Download image. Let me download. Now, if you want to go and do analysis, there is something called as a pandas. You can go and do pandas. You can import pandas and do data manipulation on top of that. If you want to work with something called as a machine learning, like learning is there. That's one of the libraries where it has all the features which you can directly import those features and you can work. If you want to work with deep learning is one subpart of your data science. There is something called TensorFlow because all the functionality what you need to work that's already there inside this particular libraries. Data visualization you want to do, Matplotlib. Advanced visualization you want to do, debug. You want to do web development, there is something called Fluff. Game development, Pygame. So many things are there. Whereas if you want to work with big data technologies, there is PySpark. The same way, you need to go and import those library, and then on top of that, you'll be
Okay, so
correct.
these are the library inside the Python only.
Yep. You just need to import because since Python is an open source, a lot of creators will be communicating, will be contributing to the open source. They will create all these libraries, and some maybe next you might create one library and you can make it as an open source. Other one can just import that and start working on top. How to create a libraries and all we'll be seeing in the further classes. But since it's
Yeah.
open source, a lot of libraries are there. More than 5,000 libraries are there. We can easily go and import and we can work on top.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. Okay. How does your Python works? We saw all these things, features, everything we saw, but how does it exactly work? Now, whenever you go and write any Python, you write if you are doing something called as scripting. Okay, scripting is nothing but how you write in your PLSQL, a whole line of code. We saw something called a store procedure. We are writing a large line of code. Those are called as scripting. If you go and write, that is something called a .py file. Under that, we'll go and write. If you want to execute in a form of cell-wise block of code, then we put that into something called as a IPY file. Now, this is all what high-level language you have done. You have created those languages, you have written, And once you execute that particular language, it will convert those source file. There will be a compiler. That compiler will be converted into a bytecode. Now, bytecode is something called as equal closer to the machine language, still portable, still understandable, but there will be something called as a virtual machine inside your Python. This particular virtual machine, inside that will be having different types of libraries. Now, when we import certain libraries, it will go in, this virtual machine will make use of that particular libraries, and then whatever this bytecode is there, it will be completely converted into a binary code or machine code, and then it will execute. These all things will happen in the backend. As soon as you press enter, you have 10 lines of code. First line, it will do this, execute. Second line, it will do this, execute. Third line, it will do this, execute, until unless that 100 lines of code is executed. Your Python is going and executing that line by line. It will convert each line, and then it will start running the program. Now, Chandrasekhar, are we good with this? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Sorry for that. Okay. This is how your Python program is working. That's fine. We'll see, because we are not a Python developer, we don't need to worry much, because no one is going to ask you in a data engineering interview, how does your Python work? This is a high level understanding. We need to understand what is the kind of language it is, how it executes, and what all things is happening in the backend. This is more than enough to understand with respect to theory point of view, as you are just going to work with the coding inside your data engineering. That being said, now how you are going and write your code, where you are going to write a code. For example, we had for our SQL, there was something called as a MySQL, MS SQL, Oracle, and based on that, we had installed certain software. And for example, MySQL, we use something called as a SQL workbench. The same way, if you want to go and execute anything, if you want to go and write your Python, there are different software applications that we can go and do this particular coding. For example, it will give you a code editor, debugging tool, code execution, all these things it will give, where Python will remain same in all these applications. As your PL, SQL or SQL will change according to application, Python is not like that. Python remains same everywhere we go, the code remains same, but this application will give you an interface to execute the code, debugging part, everything that will be given. There are n number of applications, but widely used across organization is something called as a PyCharm, VS Code, Jupyter Notebook, Eclipse, something called as one more thing, IntelliJ. These are widely used across the organization. If you know one IDE, it is much more easy to work on other IDE, because only the interface is different, whereas coding part, everything remains same. We will be getting started with something called the Visual Code and Jupyter Notebook. Now, whenever you go and write any AWS code, you can go and write into .py file or scripting, or you can write as a notebook. So we'll be seeing few code. We'll start with something Jupyter Notebook, but then when we come back to scripting, when we execute certain advanced thing, we'll come back to Visual Studio, because Visual Studio is much more capabilities are there. We can do a lot of things. These two are the IDE which will be looking. Whereas others, if you want, you can go and explore. There is not much difference in that. Only the interface will be different. Now, that being said, how to install these things? Those things already has been given. You come and see in your particular batch. There is a something called as a guide. You already have a guide how to install these particular applications. One, with respect to your Visual Studio, all the steps, each and every steps, what you have to follow, how we have to do, what all things you have to follow, each and everything, the steps have been given. Please go and install that. And please install 3.12 version. Don't install the latest version because your Snowflake doesn't support 3.13 version. When we'll be communicating further classes Python with Snowflake, we need a lower version. So if you try, then there might be an issue and compatibility issue might come into the picture where we might not be able to install our Snowflake libraries. So that's the reason. Install 3.12 version. All the steps, whatever you need to follow, each and every steps is been given here. How to do or how to install everything. First, VS Code and something Python how to install, and then how to install your Jupyter notebook. Those steps have been given. Can you go? Can you guys go follow this and install this today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Fine. Now that being said, now we'll be starting something with the Jupyter notebook because Jupyter notebook I'll show you both also. And if no one wants to go and install, there is something called as a Google Colab also. There also you can go and execute piece of code, but it is a very slow in process. I recommend at least one of the things you install. If you don't want to install Jupyter notebook, that's also fine because in VS Code also you can write a Jupyter notebook. But to have that idea how the Jupyter notebook is working, if you want to have a look and feel, you can go and install that, or else we can make use of something called as a VS Code. For example, I'll open first VS Code. I'm opening first new particular window where I have my VS Code. As soon as you open your VS Code, a particular pop-up will come in like this. You have to go and say open folder. First, I need to go and create a folder. Let me go and create one particular folder. I'll go and create a new folder saying that Python August classes or anything, whatever you want. You can go and give the particular name and select that particular folder. As soon as you do, there is a folder created here. Now I need to go and create a file. There is particularly new file option here. As soon as you go and click here and you say demo.py file, a particular scripting file is created where you can go and do right a lot of scripting. I don't want to do scripting. I'll say demo.ipynb file. And as soon as you say IPYNB, a particular Jupyter notebook kind of a things. If you come and click here, there also you can see all the things you can go and see. And as soon as you go and click plus, 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 here is a piece of block. You can go and execute your code. Okay. Okay. That being said, at the first, whenever you go and install, this particular Jupyter notebook might not be there. They will ask you to install. If you come and see, there is a icon here where square and rectangle, like something called as a rhombus kind of a thing. If you click here, there is a extensions you need to go and install. The first time when you go, you search for something called as a Python. As soon as you search for Python, extension will come, Python debugger or Python. This is the extension. For you, it will ask for an installation. Since I already installed, it will not show. It will show like this install. Go and install that and then go and search for Jupyter. JUYP. Again, you go and install this. Once you install, you can run the Jupyter notebook here itself. Okay. And one more thing, there will be something called as a Copilot. GitHub Copilot. Please go and
So,
disable this. Yep. Yep.
so actually, if I have installed that Visual Studio, so after that we have to install Jupyter in that Studio also, or like we can install that separately.
No, what happens is inside your VS Code, these are the extension or some kind of a patches where you can directly install. You no need to go and again install. Inside only, if I go, for example, I have this SQL tool here. If I go and click install, it will start installing. It will ask, okay, trusted and install. You just click this, it will only install. You don't need to do separate anything. Got it?
Yes, sir. Actually, like you are telling, like whatever things that we want to use in Visual Studio, that we need to download, right?
Yep, yep, yep. Now in further classes, if anything is required, I'll let you know. For now, you need to first go and install. One is Python. Next is something called as a Jupyter, because Python, if you install, it will give all the libraries, everything on the go. And Jupyter will be there when you install for the first time. You have to go and enable Jupyter also, because I need to go and write a Jupyter kind of notebook in my Visual Studio. Got it? Are we good? Are we good? What's the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now there is something called as a GitHub Copilot. Please go and disable this. Okay. Now this GitHub Copilot is something what on the go, whenever you go and write a code, it will give what is the next line of code. Since you're practicing Python, please don't enable this. Need to practice Python for now, at least. Go and disable it. If you have any issues, you can go and check in your ChatGPT what is the issue and all. But on the go, please don't go and use this in your Visual Studio. The same way, I want to go and use something called as a Jupyter notebook. That Jupyter notebook will be there in something called as a Anaconda. Now, Anaconda is one of the application which we need to install. Under that, we'll be having n number of applications. We can go and install that also. But mainly for the Jupyter notebook, we'll be using this particular Anaconda. We will try to see how this particular Jupyter notebook is working. Till now, any doubts?
Yes, sir. I have one doubt. We are actually we are using that we are using Jupyter for Python, right? And why we are using this Visual Studio and in Visual Studio, what all are the things that we are gonna do? We'll do.
Okay. Okay. Now, if you come and let me open this. Okay, you have once you open a Anaconda, there will be first time it will ask for your installation. You install that, and once you launch this particular Jupyter notebook, I'll show you what's the difference. Let it launch. Okay, now a particular Jupyter notebook has launched. Now create one particular folder here. Again, Python. Okay, I already created Python August class. I'll go and see here, and if I go and see new Python kernel, a particular notebook will execute. Now, what kind of code you are seeing here? How it is looking? How this is looking? Is it same like this particular file?
Yes, sir.
Come here. Is there any difference?
No.
Okay, but if we come back to your .py file, now we can go and write any line of code like this and execute on the go. If you're going scripting kind of a thing, we'll do something called as a py file. If you're going on the go, for example, now I'll write my very first program, that is print hello world. No, this is code, not. I'll say print hello world. If I go and execute this, I need to set first Python environment. I'll use this base. And if I go and run this, I'm executing a piece of code. So the same way, if I want to go and execute in Jupyter Notebook, open here, I'll come and keep it here and I'll enter, shift plus enter. I'll be able to execute that piece of code. There is no difference between your Jupyter and VS Code. If you want to install, there is no hard, fast and rule that you need to go and practice. I'll be showing both. You can go and install anyone and practice by yourself. Are you good?
Yes, sir. So anyway, we have to install that Visual Studio for our past, future courses, right? So that would be better.
No, Visual Studio only I'll be using. Jupyter only I'll be start with the starting classes to just practice code and all. We'll be using Jupyter. Mostly I'll be using VS Code.
Got it, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine. Now the same thing if I want to go and execute in my script. Okay, I'm putting something VS Code. Now I want to go and execute. There is a play button here. As soon as I click on play button, the terminal will open and it is giving output here. Okay, if you guys see here, my output is coming here and it has been executed under this particular file. It is stored here, and whatever is the output is coming, it is showing here. Now, since I will be showing a lot of outputs, it will be very hard to understand this on the go. So that's the reason I'll be using something called the Jupyter Notebook, where as soon as I run this, a terminal will not open like this. Whatever the code will be there, it will be executed here. That being said, we have executed our very first code, that is print hello world. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me go and stop this. Okay. Now we executed our very first code, that is print hello world. Now to execute any piece of code inside your Python, you want to give it as an output. We use something called as a keyword print, and inside that I'll just go and write my whatever things I need to do. For example, I need to go and print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and execute. Now what error it's showing? What error is showing?
Print is not defined.
Okay. I gave print here, I gave print here.
Capital P.
Double inverted quotes are not present.
Okay. I'll give double inverted quotes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and I'll execute. What it is showing?
Capital P.
So P is capital.
Okay. So text will not come here. First and foremost rule is your Python is case sensitive. What is that? What do you mean by that? If it is a case sensitive, P is not equal to P. A small p or caps lock P is not equal to a P. That's the reason it is not able to execute. Now the same thing, if I go and execute here, I'll say P. If I execute this, I'll be able to see. So your Python is a very case sensitive, and these are the keywords that are already defined by your Python. How we have inside our SQL. Joins is nothing but we know it is joining. If I use left join, it knows I need to go and use left join. If I do right join, it knows I need to go and do right join. The same way, these are the keywords inside your SQL. The same way, inside your Python, these are some of the keywords that are there. If you don't pass that correctly, it will not execute. But if you went and saw your SQL in that MySQL, we were passing join like this also, joins like this also. I was saying join like this also. Every time, whenever I go and say any way, it was able to understand because it was case insensitive. It doesn't go and differentiate between these things, whereas your Python is sensitive. Okay. Okay. That being said, now I'll go and execute the same line and I'll enter. Is there any difference between this?
No.
Is there any difference?
Yes, yes, sir. Above one is a string and below one is like a numeric character, numeric
Okay.
value.
Okay. I'm going and assigning something called as a x is equal to this value, and I will go and assign y equal to this particular value, and I'll say print of x. Now why print of x? Because I have already assigned that. I'll give something called as a type of x. Okay. Same way, I'm taking this and I'm entering here. I'll say y and type of y. I'll close my bracket. Okay. I'll enter this and I'm entering. What do you see?
One is string and another one is integer.
Okay. Did I go and indicate anywhere? Take this as string, take this as integer. Did I define this x anywhere?
Double quotes.
Yes, a string in double. A string is in double quotes.
Okay.
It
Now I'll
will
put
take
a
lines.
1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take this as z, z, and z. Now it is showing. What it is showing?
Float.
Okay. Okay. Did I anywhere go and define what kind of data we should store? Whenever we created our table inside our SQL, what we used to do for any column? After defining your column name,
We have
We
to
used to
mention
define.
data type.
Data type.
The data type.
is to mention a data type. But second point is your Python is dynamically typed language. Now, what do you understand by this sentence? What do you understand by this sentence? Just
Automatically take the data type.
exactly. So we no need to go and define any data types. Whenever you go and define something and assign to a particular value, that particular value to particular things, we no need to go and define that particular data type, because Python has that capability. Based on the value what you are passing, you will automatically consider that data type. If you always pass in double quotes, then it is considered as a string. For example, I'll come and I'll take this here and I'll pass my dot 345 or anything. And if I go and execute, let me take this one. Okay. If I go and put this here in double quotes, and if I'm going and executing this, it will convert into a string, because anything you put in double quotes, it understands that as a string. And if you don't do that, as we know, numbers, we no need to go and pass anything. If you just put as a number, it will try to understand that. There are different data types also we'll see in the future. But the second point we need to understand is Python is something called a dynamically typed language. Okay. Any doubts so far? I got till now?
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll come back to the first very topic, variables. What are variables in general? In general, what are variables? What do you understand by the word variable in general?
Which can change the
value.
Okay. Okay. On the go, it can go and change, right? Variables are nothing but it's a container where data can be stored or referred or manipulated using your program. You'll go and store a variable. For example, if I say age is equal to 35, if I say height is equal to 5.11, if I say name equal to group, if I say coaching is equal to KSR, I am assigning certain value to the particular variable, which particular variable. Now, what it is doing, whenever I go and say age equal to something 35, it will create a variable age and it will go and create one container. Under that, this value has been stored. So variables are fundamental elements that can be used in a programming to store the particular values. Now, what can be used? No, as I said, since your Python is dynamically typed, no need to go and explicitly declare these particular values. It will automatically understand what are the values are there, what automatically assigning I should do. All these things is dynamically typed, it can go and assign that. Now we saw this also, since Python is something called a case sensitive. If I are going and say age equal to 35, and if I go same and say age equal to 35, are these both same?
No.
Since the case is sensitive, this is a different variable, this is a different variable, so you can't go and use a particular variable with another variable. And a common types of data which we can go and store is something called as a float, integer, string, boolean, list, and what are all these data types we'll be seeing, but we can go and store that into a variable. And whenever you go and say age is equal to something 32, the first word, whatever you go and say, that are called as identifier. Now, what you understand by the word identifier in generic? In generic, what you guys understand?
We can identify it with respect to something. For example, age should be in numbers like that.
Okay. You think identifier means will it change again and again?
No.
Okay. Variable means what do you say? It will change again and again.
Yes.
Now, identifiers are nothing but the name you give to any of the functions, variables, object inside your Python. Those are the identifiers which are uniquely defined. For example, I'm saying age. There is some meaning to this. I'm saying this whatever the value you assign. Those are called literals that can change accordingly. Now it is 35. Next day it might be 36. It is increasing. Some might be having 50. Anything can be there. It will keep on changing. But something that is identifying the values that keeps constant, that are nothing but identifier. Whereas literals are nothing but the values you go and assign to that particular identifier, which can be different. Your string, numerical, boolean, collections, different data types are there. We'll see that the values, whatever you go and assign, these values are called as a literal, and these are called as a identifier. The whole together, whatever the combination is there, no, that are called as a variables. Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Are we good till now? Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Others, are we good? I'm going a bit slow because this is a very first class. Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Now, I'll come back again to PPT. Now, I said something has x is equal to 1.2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what is the variable here?
Whole thing
X.
is variable.
X.
Okay. What is x here?
Identifier.
Okay. What kind of literal is this?
String.
String.
Now, that has been identified here. Now, I said y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, which is our variable here?
1, 2, 3, 5.
Okay. What kind of value is this?
Integer.
It's a integer, is nothing but whatever the values are called as a literals. That's the int kind of a literal. Now this is again string, and if I won't be able to pass string, if I'm passing it something called as this, now this is a float kind of a literal you are going and assigning. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Now I'm going and assigning something called as a x is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I said x is equal to 5. Let me take x is equal to 5. I'll say print of x executed. I got 5. Now same I can say x is equal to 10. And I'll say print of x. Now what value will come? What do you guys think? Which value will come?
10.
10.
10.
I assigned here 5, right?
Again,
Okay.
you reassign.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Now 10 came. For now, I'll comment this. Now, what is this hash is nothing but you're commenting means it will not go and execute. Any comments if you want to go and add inside your Python, we'll use hash functions. And I'm commenting this. Now, if I go and execute this, what value will come? What do you guys think? What value will come?
10.
10
10?
only.
No, this I'm executing here 10. If I execute here, it should come 5, right? Because it is earlier here. Who thinks it should come as 5? Anyone?
It will come 10.
No, 10 only.
Okay. Anyone thinks it will come as a 5? I'm asking. No one? No one? Okay. Let me go and not give us 10. Now, how this particular value changed? I gave it as 5 now. I gave it as 10. How this particular value changed? I'll come back. my PPT. Now, how these particular variables are working. Now, I gave something as x is equal to 5. In the back end, it is creating something called as a memory. Your Python is creating a memory, a particular box is created, and it is assigned that particular value as 5. Now, when you go and say x is equal to 10, now this particular value, now it is not directed to this, it will be directed to here. And this particular, whatever the value, that particular box is there, there is something called as a garbage collector inside your Python. Now, is this value is assigned to any of the variable? Is 5 assigned to anywhere? I said x is equal to 5, variable was assigned to 5. Then I said x is equal to 10. Now, once I did x is equal to 10, it is been gone here. Now, this particular 5, is it assigned to any of the variable?
No.
No.
No, sir.
Since it is not assigned to any variable, your garbage collector inside Python will come into the picture and delete that particular variable. That's the reason when I go and once I assign my x is equal to 10, and once I go and read that particular value, it will be gone. Now you might be having question. Now x was 5, this was 10. What kind of literal is that? What kind of literal is that?
Integer.
Okay.
Yes.
If I go and do this, what do you guys think?
It's string.
String.
Okay. Okay. Now, since this was a literal, now I'm going x is equal to Python. Will it create a new particular box and assign this and keep this x is equal to 10 as it is? You guys think?
No.
No, it will create another memory.
Now, what happens whenever you go and same variable, you go and assign those data? First it was 10, again it is going and assigning to another memory. And since this 10 is not referred by anything, it will go and delete by your garbage collector. This is how your variables are working. And there are a few more things that comes like mutability, immutable. A lot of things will come for other types of data type. But now we'll understand something with respect to integer and Python, integer string in Python, how it's working. And whenever you are going and assign these particular values, it keep on going because when you go and say x is equal to something 10, in the backend, it has created one box. Now, since variable is something box where you can go and put, now if you have a box where you can go and put one item, if you don't require that, you remove that, you can put one more item. In that way, there is a memory that is there where particular value is assigned. And once you go and say x is equal to 20, now it will go and assign that to another box. This box, whatever is there, it will be cleaned up by your garbage collector. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far? Are we good till now? Are we good till now? Please respond.
Yes,
So, like, suppose in that case, suppose we have assigned x equal to 5 and then we have assigned x equal to 10. So, will that 5 will be there in like garbage collection or like it will clear that memory?
It will completely remove. Garbage collector is what? Collecting and removing.
So, if we want that value again, so we have to assign that again and then we can use that, right?
Yep. Now, again, if you go and say, now we had x is equal to, now let me come back here. Okay, I had x is equal to 5, x is equal to 10. Now, again, if I go and say x is equal to 5, and if I print it, what will happen? What do you guys think? What will happen?
It will print 5.
Now, what will happen to this 10? What will happen to this 10?
It was omitted.
Okay, it will be removed by your garbage. Are you good till now? Any doubt till now? Are we good till now?
Oh, good, Sagar.
Okay, now I have a question for you. I said x is equal to 5, y is equal to 10, x is equal to y. Print x. What will happen?
It will print 10.
Okay. In the
10.
backend, what do you guys think? What will happen? Fine. Value is 10. I agree. In backend, what might happen?
It will delete the old value of 5 from X
Hmm?
using garbage collector, and it
Hmm?
will assign the new value Y to X.
Okay. What will happen to Y? Now, if I say print Y, what will be the value of Y?
Y will be 10 only.
Anyone? What will happen apart from Subhajit? What do you guys think?
Yeah, X will be 10 and Y will be
0.
10. Y equals 10.
0, 0. Y will be 0. Who said that?
10.
Who?
Yes,
Someone
sir.
said 0. Someone said
Yes.
0. Who? Okay. Okay. Now, if I go and execute this, be giving 10. How does it giving 10 and 10? Now, if you come back, now what's happening is whenever you go and say X is equal to, taking this, I'm saying X is equal to 5. X is assigned to a memory, a particular 5 is there. When I said Y is equal to 10, Y is assigned to a memory and 10 is there. When I went and said X is equal to Y, it is equating to this. Now, since it is equating to this, it will go and point to this, it will be removed. Now, if it is removed, is this assigned to anything? Is 5 assigned to anything?
No.
Now, if it is not assigned, what will happen? Garbage collector will remove this. Now, since both are assigned here, now if I go and do Y is equal to 20, what will happen?
X will also become 20.
Okay. Y equal to 20. And I'll execute this. What is there? Why it is still showing 10?
X equals to Y, you need to execute again, I think.
Yeah. Now, since you again changed your Y value, now at that time, what happens? It will be assigned to something 20. Now it will go as this. Now this particular assignment will be not valid. Only it will be valid with something Y is equal to 10. It will be executed. Now, once you again go and say X is equal to Y, then it will come and sit like this. In this way, your variable will keep on changing based on the values you go. And in the backend, this is how it's working. Any doubts so far? Any doubts so far?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Now we'll come back and we'll try to see how to use a variable. That's how a brief idea you need to have how your variable is working. But when it comes to other data types, we'll come and see how exactly other data types are also working. But for now, we'll have this particular idea. I'll say age equal to 34. I say height equal to, let's say 5 or 6 feet, 6.00. Name equal to, let's say, Raj, and coaching equal to KSR data engineering. Okay. I defined my particular variables like this. Okay. Now I have defined, now I need to go and use this particular variable. Now my output should be my name is Raj. I am 34 years old and have 6 feet height. Let's say 6.00 height, feet height, studying or learning Python from KSR data engineering. This is how I need to go and write. Now next time, now main use case of variable is what? It keeps on changing. Next time if I go and assign different value, let's say 35, 36, and it might be 5 in, or it might go and say some RAM, and this should execute now. You should go and change. Now how to go and write this? I'll be writing as, now any output you should need, you need to give something called as a print, then it will only give, and I'll put that into my bracket. Colon is nothing name. I'll take this whole thing here. Okay, I'll put under here. Now I said what? My name is, I'll put here, and I'm taking this, and name should come where? From my name. I'll take it here, comma. Now since again your variable should be, all the strings should be in double quotes, I'm putting IM again. I'll put this, comma. Now age should come from where? Here. I'll keep it age. Then I'll put again double quotes, 34 years. I'll put comma here, and your height should come where? Again double quotes, it height, learning, Python from KSR data vision. Like this, it should come. Okay. Where I missed height, speed height, comma, and I'll put height here, and I'm having this. Now since this particular value I have run, and I'll go and run this particular value. Sorry, coaching, right? Not KSR data vision. And if I run this, what I'm getting? What I'm getting? What I am getting here? Whatever the things you have passed from the variable, it has assigned. For example, if I go and change my variable and I'm execute again, my data is changing. In this way, you can make use of your variable on the go in your Python programming dynamically. If you want to go and execute, you can go and run that particular values and then execute. Are we good till now?
Question. After coaching, we haven't closed with the double quotes and also comma is also missing. But why it is not throwing any error? Okay.
Now, that's a good question. I have this particular values. Okay, I assigned my variable name as this as this. Whenever I am assigning string, I have assigned this. Now I will go and say just print age, comma height, comma name, comma. What are you seeing? What you are seeing?
It's displaying all the values.
Why? Because these are the identifiers, right?
Yes.
Now, since you are already assigned the value, that particular value has been identified. Now, since these values are coming from your identifiers, I no need to go and put in the quotes. If you go and put this in a quotes, what will happen? What will happen if I go and put in quotes?
It will display the quotes also.
It will print coaching.
You don't know what is this. It thinks this is something called as string item, so it is printing. So if I want to go and put it as an identifier, I no need to go and put like this. Now, example, if I put coaching 1 and execute this, now what will happen? Will it take this? Now, if I execute, what will happen?
Error.
Okay, it's taking from here. Let me take 2. Okay. Now, if I go and execute this, it's taking where I defined anywhere coaching. Let me say this 1 1. Now I defined as coach 1. If I go and execute this, what it's saying? What did it say?
It is not defined.
That identifier is not there.
Why? Because whatever value are there, that only if you go and pass, then it is able to identify because that variable is defined, and then we are able to use that in our statement. Now, since it's the very first class, we're just using something called a print statement and assigning those value, and we have seen how to use our variable inside our programming language. Since you guys are
Sagar,
not,
that means, I'm sorry, that means quotes and comma is given to the remaining, I mean, not for the variables, and it's for the remaining sentence, right? My name is, and I am a year old and have.
yeah. Now what happens,
Okay.
right? This is concatenating. Now, since you're giving quotes, it is concatenating. I'll explain how to give different ways. So we can write print, we'll see. But now to concatenate my values from whatever the values I'm having inside my double quotes, I need to give it as comma.
Okay, got it. I thought
Okay.
it's for the variables. Okay.
Not readable, because this is one string and this string is coming from here, and this is one string, this string is coming here. So it is concatenating whole together here. Now, how to write different print statement, we'll see tomorrow. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Since you guys are not installed Python, I don't want to do more things. We'll come back tomorrow and we'll explore more things on variables, and then we'll get started with data types. If you guys have any doubts, please let me know.
So for demo purpose, which one do you want us to install? Anaconda and
Anything
VS Code.
which you want to do, that is fine, because the same thing. Now if I take this here, if I execute here, and if I come this, and if I execute, it works same. There is no change. It will take, it will run. There is no difference. Now it depends on you. If you want only on VS Code, work on VS Code. There's no add-on first rule to install Jupyter.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay, fine. Any doubts? Any doubts?
We can install the latest version of Python of 3.12, right?
You install whatever the version I gave. 3.12.7.
Okay.
Okay, because Snowflake still doesn't support 3.13. So I don't want, when we go and work Python with Snowflake, that time we should not have any issue.
Sir, we'll cover Snowflake with Python and DB both, right?
Yeah, DB I'll be showing now, but once we complete something called as Snowflake, then we'll come back again. Then at that time I'll show Python.
Hello.
So,
So this is the first class for this batch.
No, okay. Let me explain. Let me come back to you then. Give me 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah.
Hello, Sagar sir.
Yeah.
I have a question. I don't know if I'm asking you the right question in this group. So I'm already, like, I have already completed the Power BI course with the same KSR, KSR Institute only. I'm already the student of KSR, but I wanted to continue to take like Snowflake with DBT. Will this class help me for this? If I join, I just, because I don't know any like coding language. Just I know the SQL with my previous class, Santosh sir has explained.
Okay.
Apart from that, I don't know anything. Yeah.
I got it. Your question.
Yeah.
Now, since you're already, are you working with Power BI?
Yes, I'm already working with Power BI. So now they're asking me to like work on Snowflake with DBT.
Yeah. Now we completed. Now who asked,
And
like,
I'm also the non-coding. I'm completely came from the non-coding background.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I totally understand. Now what happens, right? Inside Snowflake, now we'll be doing Snowflake also. We will be learning DBT. We'll be learning Matillion, ADF, AWS. These all things we'll be learning. But if you don't want to go with only coding, then you can go and learn Snowflake, DBT, Matillion. These are the low-code platform. And ADF, since you are working with Power BI, ADF is also one which will be integrating. That will boost your career. But as I say, how many years of experience you have? May I know?
I have total now, it's 3.5 years of experience.
Okay. Now, if you take like next, when you try to jump next, if you want to explore more opportunity, and if you try, like, let's say 5 years, 6 years, if you're going and putting, now everywhere, even for data analysts, they're asking Python. Without Python, there is no any of the job openings are coming, because there's the requirement has become for every role. Even basic stuff you need to know about Python. I would suggest learn Python also. I will be teaching from scratch. Everything will be teaching. Will be going from complete scratch as you saw today. So if you have Python addition to that, it will be an advantage. But if you don't want to go Python now, Snowflake, DBT. Once we finish our Python, next 3 weeks will be Python class. After that, we'll be starting with Snowflake with DBT. That will go for 2.5 months. At that time, it will be helpful for you.
Yeah, so that will be from scratch, right?
Yeah, completely scratch.
Okay, fine, sir. I just wanted to check with this one. So then, yeah, fine. So okay, I'll contact with my sir or some of your representatives and take care. Thank you so much.
Sure. Coming to your question, PC. May I know your name? Sorry.
My name is Lalita.
Okay, sure. Someone asked, is it the first class?
Yes, yes. Rajendra this side, sir.
Okay. So we complete now our class. Who is new? Now all students can drop out. That's it for today's class. I don't want to waste your class. Anyone who is new, I'll be explaining our. Okay. Now we started with MySQL. We completed MySQL for 20 classes. Okay. In that we have built one end-to-end project. That is Netflix database. Using this particular Netflix database, we have solved a lot of problems. I give a lot of problems, around 300 plus coding problems we have solved in this. Now we'll be starting with Python. Now, since KSR will be taking new enrollment from before SQL and during Python, few folks who already know SQL, they want to start with Python. We'll be giving access for this particular recorded sessions, whatever the code, whatever the things, everything will be given from the website. This access will be given, and today onwards will be started with Python. Now it will go for 3 weeks. Once Python is completed, we'll be doing Snowflake plus DBT plus ADF plus Airflow. Now for Airflow to run any of the pipeline, you need Python, because on top of Python only your Airflow is running. This will go for 2.5 months. Along with that, we'll be giving one more tool called as a Matillion. That will be given as a recorded sessions, because if you want to add Matillion, you can go and add. If you don't want to go with a heavy coding and a light coding, I want to go low code, Snowflake developer, you can go and add this also. This will be given. This will be there for next 2.5 months. After that, we'll be starting with Spark. This will be done with respect to Databricks. I'll give an idea on Databricks, how Databricks is working, and then Snowpark. Now, so Snowpark is where you will be going and executing PySpark code inside your Snowflake. That time we need Snowpark, and this time your Python will come into the picture. Now, as a Snowflake developer, 80% of the time will be working only on the SQL. Only 20% time, whenever you require, you'll be working with Snowpark or Python. So that's an added advantage. So these two things will be doing parallelly, because 95% of the code in Snowpark is similar to that of your PySpark. We need to understand how PySpark works, how Snowpark works. So I will be explaining whatever the PySpark is there with respect to Databricks, and it will be going for 3 weeks. Now, after that, at the end, I'll come and we'll be taking AWS and all the required service, like 5 to 6 services, like example, Glue, Lambda. We have step functions to orchestrate inside our AWS. We have something Event Bridge to schedule your event. Then a lot of things. We have something called as S3. We have Athena. So many services, few services are there. EMR, these all services will be learning with respect to AWS, and AWS will be again using Airflow to schedule the pipeline. This is how the flow will be there. It will go for again 3 to 4 weeks. The total next duration will be 4 months. If you are okay with recorded session with SQL, it will be 4 months. No, if you don't want recorded session, I want to attend SQL also live classes. There are n number of batches inside KSR. Whichever batch you want, you can go and attend live classes from there. Or else when I take next time SQL batch, if you want, the access will be given SQL batch for that also. Apart from that, we'll be doing projects. Now, after we finish something Snowflake, we'll be doing one end-to-end project. That is a framework project, which will go for 8 hours. Then after finishing for DBT, we'll be doing one project that will go for 3 hours. Then inside AWS, I'll be taking one end-to-end project that will go for 7 to 8 hours. With respect to Databricks and Snowpark, there will be one project that will go for 3 hours. And ADF plus Databricks, I'll be taking one project There's a one data migration project that might go up to 2 to 3 hours. Apart from that, Matillion, Airflow, these pipelines will be building as it is, and all these things will be done with respect to weekends. And your classes will be from Monday to Saturday. Why I'm saying Saturday? Not every Saturday. In a month, 1 or 2 classes will be on Saturday, because every project will be doing that will be done on Saturdays. It will be 8 to 9:30 a.m. This is a schedule timing. And coming to your syllabus, if you want to come and see syllabus, you can go and see in our free access classes. Wherever you're getting access, you can go and see each and every syllabus. We completed this particular SQL batch. Next is something Snowflake. After we finish Python, we are going to do only real-time implementation. If you see, these are the 14 plus use cases I'll be implementing only for explaining some theory points. As I brought from PPT and explaining theory, and just entering into practical. We'll be doing a lot of practicals. Only 10% to 20% you can expect theory. All will be practical. Data warehouse concept, everything will be learning, and we'll be building one end-to-end project. Then we'll be learning DBT. DBT is a low-code platform, for those who don't know, where you can directly do transformation inside of a Snowflake. It is very easy to learn. If you know SQL, you know DBT. Only 10 to 12 classes are enough to learn each and every features of DBT, and we'll be building all this use case. Once we finish, again, coming to project, for Snowflake, it will be healthcare domain. For DBT, it will be supply chain domain. And once we come back to, again, our Databricks and Python, once we learn, we'll be building our project under that. It will be with respect to banking, credit card domain. And apart from that, iceberg and delta tables are the open table format that is widely used in all data engineering projects now. I'll be explaining that also. Whereas in AWS, it will be completely banking domain. These are the domains we'll be seeing. And coming to projects, last I'll be showing this particular projects also. These are the projects which we'll be seeing. Now, this particular project we have already completed with respect to our SQL. Next will be Snowflake project. This is a completely end-to-end dynamic project. You come and see, these are the data models which we'll be building at the end. And your end-to-end pipeline will be looking like this, which will be building inside our Snowflake. And this is a DBT project, end-to-end DBT project. And then these are the Databricks and Snowpark project. The same project, how to implement in Snowpark, I'll be explaining you. And coming to AWS, these are the simple pipeline. All together, we'll put that into one capstone project, and we'll be using modern data tech stack. We'll be bringing from AWS to Snowflake, and we'll be orchestrating that particular pipeline. And one small project on streaming I'll be explaining with respect to AWS, where we'll be try to see how to bring the streaming data into our. This is a syllabus you are having. If you anyone who is new and having any doubts, please let me know. We are here.
So I have one more doubt. Will we go into it for like Databricks or PySpark, or like just we'll touch it and like?
No. For your AWS, now to build this particular pipeline, okay, you are writing this particular pipeline. This is something called as a glue service. Here you need to know PySpark very deep. If you don't know something, let me take. Okay. This glue service is mainly dependent on your PySpark. If you don't know PySpark, you'll be not able to execute. So we'll be taking around 12 classes on PySpark, where only execution part I'll be showing with respect to Databricks, because it will be much more easy to you understand Databricks also. I'll take 2-3 class extra to explain few functionality, but I would say this course is mostly on 80% AWS with Snowflake. Some idea will get on 20% on Databricks plus area, so that you have covered almost 80% of the market. If you master one tool and you have idea on that, that's what every companies are looking. You don't need to go and master each and everything. Any of the tool, either you master Databricks, either you master Snowflake. If you're very good with Python and PySpark, go and master Databricks. If you want to just be good with SQL and I want to go and master only on SQL, go and use Snowflake. Each have a lot of job openings. And if you have both the things in your resume, you are covering almost 80 to 90% of the data engineering jobs.
So first one you told Databricks and?
Databricks, whatever we'll be doing. PySpark. What is your question? Sorry.
Like you told now that either we can go with Databricks and PySpark, or else we can.
If you are very good with Python, if you want to do a lot of Python coding, if you want to write a lot of PySpark code, if you want to do a lot of distributed system, everything, all those things if you want to do, go and learn Databricks. If you are very good with SQL, I'm okay to do only, I don't want to go a lot of coding. SQL is my main skill, then go with Snowflake. Both are competitor to each other. How you have Apple phone and Samsung are the competitor to each other. Can we say Apple is better than Samsung, Samsung is better than Apple?
No, sir.
Okay, both have their own features. In current market, I will not say Azure is ruling, AWS is ruling in data engineering job. Only two tools that are ruling is Databricks and Snowflake. If you have both in your resume, you are having a lot of opportunity.
And one more thing, sir, we'll go get notes after that session, or we have to write the notes during the session.
Okay, let me show. Now, this is with respect to the SQL what we have done. Now, after doing everything, I'll give you some time, and once that is there, if there any notes is required, we'll be adding that. Okay. Now, don't expect each and everything for everything. When I come to Snowflake, I might not produce this. I might ask you, I'll give you code, I'll give you assignments and everything. I'll give you entry question so that you guys can prepare. But for foundation of SQL, Python, and PySpark, I'll be sharing notes. Okay. We'll be having all. Whatever the code, everything is there. In that website, we'll be sharing.
Got it. So thank you, sir.
Okay. Any other doubts?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, do we covered about the procedures in SQL, store procedures?
Okay, in SQL, I just explained a high level, what is procedure and all, but yet to cover deep because Snowflake store procedure is completely different. When we come back to Snowflake, we'll take 2-3 classes in there where we will write a store procedure in JavaScript, SQL, Python, all these procedures we'll be seeing in the Snowflake. But just what is store procedure, how it works, I have covered only those. High level.
And sir, last question is in Python, do we cover that exploratory data analytics?
No.
Pandas, NumPy. Okay.
No. I'll be showing what all things will be covered in Python is. Okay. That is not required as a data engineer. Exploratory and all you need as a data scientist or data analyst. What will be covered in Python is we'll be starting with introduction. Now we have started Python. What is Python? Usage of VS Code and all variable data types. And then I'll be using inbuilt data structures like list, tuple, string and all. Then looping. Then how to handle Python. How to connect your Snowflake with Python. How to do I'll just explain how pandas everything library works. Not in deep because will be working more on the PySpark libraries. There will give more time. 2-3 classes I'll take and explain. I'll give foundation here. But I will not be doing advanced things. We'll be doing only these are the things. What are modules, packages, what are exception handling, and some introduction to OOPS concept because 95% of the time we will be not using OOPS as a data engineer. But it's good to know. I'll be explaining few things. Only what is required for your data engineering that will be.
All right.
Okay. Any other question?
No from my side.
Okay. Others? Any other question? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. We'll meet tomorrow. Sorry. Fees you can connect with Mahesh or Satish. Mahesh, are you there? Okay. You can go and connect our admin.
Yes, sir, is not available. I am available, sir.
Okay, can you give me the phone number? Let me share that.
Sure. So 9353.
Mahesh? Is it Mahesh?
No, sir. Malli, sir.
Okay, Malli. Okay, you can connect with Malli. Okay, 9353
107498.
107498. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This number is available in the WhatsApp group as admin also. Please reach out to us. Yeah.
If anyone have not joined the WhatsApp group, please go and join this particular WhatsApp group. There you can go and connect with admin. They will help you with the free and other things if you have any doubts. Okay? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, we'll meet tomorrow.